Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. Today I have in the shop something special for you. Let me show you 2008 Toyota 4Runner. And this wonderful 4Runner has an electrical problem. Let me really quickly tell you about it. Of course, I try to get most of information from the owner, so I ask many questions, and this is the story which I got. She was driving this 4Runner and lost some of the functions, electric functions on the car. And she kept driving it even further, and the car basically died. Won't start and won't run. They gave it to the firefighter friend, and he replaced the battery and the alternator. And as you can imagine, that's supposed to be done, but yet some functions in the vehicle still don't work. So they said, oh, we heard about you, why you don't look at it and fix it? So let's go together and see what's happening and what can be done about it. As a technician, you wanna hear all the details, right? What happened to the car? And that's why the perfect or really great service writer who speaks with the customers at the dealership or at the service, it's priceless, right? They need to ask the correct questions and they need to pass it on you as a tech. So let's start right here. The car came here right last night. I got it last night. Let's see what's happening. So I don't see any charging light up there, but I see the VSC, vehicle stability control, right, flashing. So there is some problem with it. It's running, normally idling. There's airbag light on, it's not coming off for some reason. Let's see what is working here. I was able to lower the window, but I believe I'm pushing this unit. It's not working whatsoever. Right, the entire AC unit, it's off. The locks, do they work? Okay, so we have situation when some stuff works and some doesn't. Let me put the lights on and I can see them outside actually. See it out there? They are working too, so that's good. Oh look, now I have even more problems there. Tire pressures, check engine light is on. So something is still unfortunately wrong here. Well, that was enough in the cabin. Let's go and confirm if the battery and the alternator were replaced. So I can see brand new battery here, that's okay. And I brought the light here and you can see probably with me I'm touching brand new looking alternator. Right, I can see that the main cable here, this is the one with the nut right there, it's connected, and this seems to be connected too. What I see immediately, that guy didn't bother to install this back on the alternator, and that small 10mm bolt is missing. And now I'm in the stage basically of confirming if that repair was needed or successful, right? So I will go ahead, start up the vehicle and confirm that that alternator is charging the whole system, because I'm kind of doubting that. What will I do here? I will use my voltmeter, right? I will set it in the volts. Right here, you can see the setting hopefully, and I will measure how much is running through the battery, and it should be like 13.5 and higher, right? So let's see. And it's 12:29, 12:28, 12:29. So what you can see right here with me, this alternator is not charging this battery, and this entire car right now is just sucking this battery dry. Now we are in complicating situation. Somebody blindly, without any diagnosis, replaced the battery and the alternator, right? But it's not charging the battery. We have all havoc of the lights going in the dashboard, right? There's serious problem with electrics or electronics on this SUV. Now, what are your thoughts? Is it that alternator is bad? Do you think it's bad? It's possibility, but it's very rare, right? It doesn't happen very often that you will buy a brand new one and it's not working correctly. So most likely there is a problem in the wiring harness somewhere, right? Or the fuses or relays somewhere there, right? So we should obviously focus on that. Now before I will start going deeper and deeper in those electronics and pulling related fuses, I want to know that alternator is correctly installed, right? Recheck at least these connections. So let me show you what I did here. So let me show you the zoom or close up, right? I put a light there. So I removed that plastic cap where the nut, the golden nut you see, and I confirm that it's correctly attached. That's that main source coming from that alternator. I also, you see that brown part, right? That's a part of alternator. I disconnected my cable. I rechecked all the pins which are inside, that they are not bended when the person was putting it together, right? There's not something damaged or missing. Everything seems to be okay. Let me test the alternator. Instead of studying schematics like electric wiring diagrams, it's in this situation when I have everything open there, it's very easy to test the alternator. I will show you how to do it really quickly. And you have to be careful with this because I will be putting my jumper wire, right, extension on the live 12 volts in the vehicle. So you don't want to this end be touching any negative because the sparks will start flying all over, right? So I'm attaching this to that large output from the alternator. Here is that really quick test, right? So jumper wire goes direct on that large connector on that alternator where the nut was, right? So I have that, making sure it's not touching the body, the ground, and I have the voltmeter right here. This is on the plus, right? And now if I connect the entire circuit, I should get the battery voltage. So here I'm touching the negative and the voltmeter is showing me the battery is charged and that whole circuit has 12.71 volts. Now I'm going in the car, I will start it up, rechecking that nothing is hanging here, right? Nothing will be sucked in the engine. Everything is ready here. I will start it up. And the voltage needs to go up because it will indicate that the alternator is making power. Needs to go somewhere over 14 volts, right? So let's go see if the alternator is correct and it's working correctly. It will be producing over 14 volts. So everything is correct here, right? Everything running. Let's go see. There's nothing here, of course. Now we will know the truth. Negative terminal, how much is it? It's actually consuming, right? It's consuming, the battery voltage is down because the vehicle is running multiple electric consumers. This alternator or generator, right? The Toyota calls it generator. This brand new part we just find out is bad. Can you believe it? I did shut off the engine, right? Once again, black on the ground. and you see the voltage dropped because it was not being charged, but it's coming back, right? The battery is gaining its voltage despite the fact it was not being charged. It's going up towards to that 1271 which we saw. So this test, it's pretty shocking, right? This alternator, you don't see it very often, but this alternator is bad. It cannot be incorrectly installed, right? Because the bolts are here, right? So we can see it has connection to the ground of the vehicle, right? Through those bolts, that's how it's grounded. But it's not producing any voltage. When we start up the car, the voltage was supposed to be 14.3, let's say that's example. Somewhere in ballpark of 14. But it was basically nothing like that. The voltage went down and the alternator is bad. And just for confirmation, I disconnected all the wiring to the alternator. I had that jumper cable direct on the plus. And if I carefully touch the alternator, right, without putting my hand in the belts and ripping my fingers off, look, that alternator is producing 1 volt. Now it's off. If I touch any ground or alternator itself, it makes 1 volt. As I mentioned before, this is not a very common situation that you buy a new alternator and it's actually bad from beginning. But as you can see, sometimes it happens and you have to make sure you eliminate this possibility. I don't know what will happen with this 4Runner. I'm assuming I will be replacing it for them, so make sure you are subscribed, because if I will have time, I will film it for you. Thanks for watching today and have a great day, my friend.